Well, greetings to you, one and all, from wherever you may be viewing. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy. If you're in the live chat with us tonight, welcome. If you're not and you're watching this after the fact, you might want to tune in. It's Friday nights at 8 o'clock Central, 8:01 to be exact. We kick off. Been doing that for now over a year on Friday nights. And come join us in the chat and have a few conversations on the side while we watch the video. So another beautiful day in early March here in South Louisiana on the Gulf of Mexico. We've got some cold supposed to be coming next week. It was 85 degrees yesterday. We're a little cooler today, but yeah, they're saying we're supposed to get some chill coming in next week. But it's been a great spring so far. So we're going to be out here getting into a very cool bottle of PAYDIRT from my good friend and awesome guy and channel, johnrprospecting. But before we do that, we have a little YouTube business to point out. I had done a mail call from last week showing my new GPAA subscription that I'd gotten from Emily Rydell, Bering Sea Gold. Whenever you filled out when you subscribed to whatever to the GPAA, they gave you a year's subscription on these. Really, it's like a $15 value. Very cool. And I showed y'all Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting. Rob has a ad in there because he's now a GPAA distributor, and it's listed in the magazine. But what I had not seen, because I had just gotten it whenever I did the video, is there is actually, check this out. This is a 3-page article on Rob and Gold. Not Gold. Four Paws, Colorado Four Paws, their organization that takes care of veterans animals when they're deployed, or if they have to be relocated, or if they have to be rescued, and as well as doing an animal rescue in general and a wolf rescue up there. And he's just gotten his new property last year that he picked up with very cool property with. He's got his stream and his gold mines and all kinds of stuff that's going to be going on up there this year as soon as he is back in form. And shout out to Rob, because I know he's having some issues with his health, trying to get past this last surgery. It was pretty hard on him, and so y'all can show him some love. I'll leave a link for Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting's channel. And but you can see here there's some very cool pictures, a very nice article about him and what he's done up there, a little background on it. So a good reason to pick up the subscription for GPAA, if nothing else, to check that out. But another thing is our very good friend Jim and Jeff has now changed his channel name to JJ Prospecting, because like I talked to him whenever he first started his channel. I'm subscribed to him and I could not find him. When you'd type it in his name, it would come up for Jim and Jeff musicians, and there were several. Got a big wasp there. And I typed in the full name, and there was still, I would scroll and had to actually go on to my subscriber list on the side of on the side page to click on it, or look for a comment that I could click on and go to his page that way. So I think that's it's kind of sad, because Jam and Jeff's a well-known name in the gold community for years. So it's kind of sad losing that familiarity of having that channel name. But he's going to have some awesome stuff. So it'll build a new following just from JJ that don't know Jim and Jeff. But so yeah, just be aware of that. Again, I'll leave a link to that one in the description too, so you don't have to search. Man, I got these. I don't know where these wasps are coming from around me today, but it's the red ones with the black wings. I don't like those. And yeah. So I think that pretty much covers that aspect of it. We're also throwing in, I had a couple of other little packages that came in after I had done my mail call from last week, and one of them I want to check out. So we wanted to do it on the video. So we're gonna look at that for that I got in from a viewer. That's very, very cool. So with that being said, let's turn to the new gold epicenter of South Louisiana, our table where X marks the spot, and it marks a spot on a very cool bottle of pay dirt. It's the prescription bottle, prescription strength gold from Pan in a Can from John R. Prospecting. So that was that was one of the pay dirts he had sent me for Christmas with the Dan Hurd and the gizmos. So very cool. That's going to be. I've done their big can and the small can. I've never done their prescription bottles. So thank you so much, John, for that. And I think this is when I think he had them because now they get where you can add twice the gold and add 3 times the gold. So I think he had them add more gold on this, but we'll see when we get into it. Also, a little side shot here of just to give you guys a look at how much old Chomper has grown just in the last couple of weeks since I showed you when he was coming into or was still in where he's where they go through the winter cycle where they draw back in and they basically shrink down to nothing. So there's our little guy there. He's going to close up, and each one of those little jaws has a life of about 3 or 4 closes at the most. Some of them 2 or 3, and then they dry up and fall off. The plant reabsorbs them. But yeah, that is just where it is just now starting to come out of its dormant stage, and it is popping. So I need to get it in a bigger pot and let it really spread out, because it'll, like I said, it'll grow up to be it'll be 5, 6 inches, 8 inches this year coming out of that pot when those things get long. Big purple heads on them. They're really a cool plant. So all right, well, we just want to start, and then of course I shot at our awesome board with our new additions that we just added last week from Dirty Paws to go along with our other awesome stickers. So like I said, we've got our John R. Prospecting bottle here from Pan in a Can that will be, I got a little, how do you like that? I found that underneath the house, a little brass chair. It makes a perfect pedestal. I was thinking I'd use it to put Trump on, but kind of makes him look a little kiddish and like he's in big or something. So we'll but it does make a nice little stand for that bottle. So all right, the first package I came in, y'all recognize it is the watch out here. Oh, come on. It is the traditional white envelope we get in every month from Arizona, which can only mean one thing. That's our Patreon bag from Mike Vendetta. $25 Patreon member gets you a bag of pay dirt every month as a thank you for supporting this channel. There's our Vendetta sticker. And let's see what pay dirt do we have this month. This is March 2023 Patreon pay dirt. So sometimes, like last month was the bug dirt from his new bug crete bag that he has on the site. So this is a one made up for the Patreons, and sometimes these end up being bags that he'll take material and make it into a pay dirt itself. Sometimes we just get a special blend. So very cool. So we'll look forward to doing that for our March Vendetta Gold Monthly Gazette. Our Vendetta Gazette Gold Monthly. And then I had this come in from a viewer, Mr. Daniel Peters. I know y'all are familiar with him. You see him. He's been in YouTube for a while, but very, very supportive of a lot of channels. And he had contacted me, said he had some stuff that he wanted to send me. It looks like we've got a little note with it here. He had told me he had some gems he wanted to send me that he'd had out of pay dirt he had collected. And let's see what so I've got a link that says, "Hi, Bayou. Along with the gems I sent, this buckskin bag for your nuggets. The deer was harvested by me, and it was my first and only time making buckskin. How awesome is that? And we haven't taken it out yet. But there we have it right there. Holy cow, would you look at that, man? That is like the old, what you'd imagine the prospector's pouch would be back from the 49ers, you know, when you see with their little pouch of gold. And it's very soft and pliable. That's a beautiful color. Check that out, guys. Man, that is some craftsmanship right there, my friends. That is, how cool is that? Look at that. Very soft and smooth. Look at the colors. Very, very well done, especially for your first time doing it, man. So harvest, man, that is something else. That he killed it, processed it, tanned that hide, made him some buckskin, and sent it down here on the bayou, dude. That is just, I can't thank you enough for that. That is awesome. And then, okay, so then it goes on to say, took about a week to make, had a straight, what is it? He's written cursive here. Had a stroke not long after, so it will be the last. Well, damn, my friend, I am really sorry to hear that. P.S. We have a lot in common, so I'm sure we would have been close friends. Well, my friend, we can still be close friends. I'll be getting in touch with you on that. Keep living and do what you love. Far off friend Danny Peters, it says, I will buy some pay dirt. Let me know when it's for sale. Thanks. Well, Danny, that's again, my friend, I am so sorry to hear about the stroke. It sounds like it was not a mild one. So man, all the best wishes and hopes for you for that. And again, I'm really sorry that you think it might be the last time you get have a chance to do this. That's thank you. So let's see. What he put us in the bag here. Well, check that out. Now that is some beautiful little stones. I love those in the pay dirt. Y'all know that's some mini peridot, polished peridot. Looks like some neon blue apatite right there. Turquoise, amethyst. I'm sitting here looking at it. I should be watching the camera as I'm calling it out. Yeah. But awesome little, man, that's some crystals. Nice. Thank you so much, my friend. That is an awesome addition. And then we've got this one with some larger ones here. Let me get, I've still got my other pan still full of Prospector Paul goodies I've had in there sitting on the counter all week. I keep looking at, you can see we've got our trilobite is out here next to Trump on the rock. The petrified woods between 33 and 55 million years old, and that trilobite sitting on it literally is, it started almost a 500 million years ago. 500 million years ago, those little guys came into existence and dominated the world for 300 million years. That's just, I mean, that's incredible time spans of life and success for an organism like that. It's dinosaurs, by comparison, the dinosaurs were around for about 165 million years. And so yeah, the trilobites were the kings of the world far longer than the dinosaurs were. But check those out. Hold on, let's get a very nice little array of stones there. My light on? Get a little extra light. Sun keeps coming and going out here, but I see turquoise. Again, it looks like some of that neon blue apatite. It's like some agate crystals. I really like that with the mottled, that black onyx looking. Very cool. Daniel, thank you so much, brother. And that's a cool one right there. I really like that. You always just got to love the blues in nature when you see that in rocks and flowers. That's why growing up in Texas, where bluebonnets were and still are my favorite I came down here with a bag full of bluebonnet seed because my yard used to be full of it. Look, check out that beautiful, that looks like an opal crystal that was shined up. Definitely has the colors. But bluebonnets would not grow down here. I had some little plants that would sprout up, put out a few flowers, but for some reason, they just would not take down here. But I always loved the blues in nature. So Daniel, again, Danny, thank you so much, my friend. I am just, I'm really touched that you would send that to me, and especially when you went to all the effort and talent, the artistry that it took to make this, and that you'd part with it and send it to me, my friend. Again, thank you so much. All right, well, now that we have our pleasantries out of the way there, let's move to the dirt du jour. And this is, like I said, the pan in a can prescription bottle. It's RX grade, prescribed by Dr. A. Goldman. And it says, for temporary relief of gold fever, directions: pan 1 teaspoon to alleviate gold fever. Repeat as needed. Save gold for future relief. And patient, there's the patient 0 there. Expires never. Refills contact pan in a can, pay dirt. And then there you have it. RX number AU 9999.00. Approximate weight 5 ounces. I weighed this. Actually, it's 5.2 ounces. Find us on Facebook. Warning: highly addictive. So it's they try to warn you away with its deadliness of consequences to your wallet if you if you dare to venture in. So let's hope this is. I know John cinched it down good because he said it had some grains that were wanting to kind of seep out of it. I'm surprised he didn't put it in a, seal in a bag at least with the stuff. But like I said, that is the pan in a can dirt. It's definitely Canadian dirt. Has a look to it, and it's that gray, kind of a gray mottled color that like I said, but a lot more gray in it than you see in a lot of pay dirts. And then I packed up I did some of my pay dirt bottles that I did or prizes that I get. I can't remember which, but I used my pan in a can dirt for that. I think I made up some for John. The first one I did was for John because he hadn't done any then. And I was just telling him, check out this pay dirt because it looks so different. So all right. Well, it looks like we are not going to be classifying or anything like that. We're just going to work this stuff down, like they say, a teaspoon at a time. So, or thereabouts. And so let's get our water set up and we'll be right back. And just in the interest of equal time, y'all can give me a shot of my Carolina Reaper. It is popping out. If you all remember, I showed you there was in a video, I had a bunch of little peppers that had dropped that, like I said, I don't know where they'd come from. They've all fallen off. They were not viable. That one little red one we got was it for the new year so far. But moving it in and out of the house over winter, the cold nights definitely saved it. So there we go. And and there's another one that y'all see me getting the chives on the grilling videos. I've had that plant right there for 13 years. It's been growing. I keep putting it in a bigger pot. And then there's another, I just cut it down. So that's awesome. New, fresh growth. And man, these are some very tasty chives. All right, we got our water set up. But yeah, that's our plant representation there. Need to get some flowers going. So we've already got our first little bit of dirt in the pan. So let's just dive right in and see how we look. It's as I recall, it's a pretty clean dirt. It's not real, it doesn't put out a lot of junk in the water as far as clouding it up. I want to say thank you to you guys that were on the live chat last weekend. Prospector Paul, we were doing the PAYDIRT he had sent me, and he was on the live chat with us, and it was a good show, man. It was really enjoyable. Really thank you, Paul, for being on there. He was able to point out some of his material. I like that. I think he was talking about the stuff. I wasn't sure. I was calling it copper ore. I wasn't sure. I didn't think it really looked that much, but that was my guess. And it was. I think that's the stuff he said was fluorite. That was that beautiful blue in the rock. But yeah, it was that was great having Prospector Paul on with us to talk about his material, and as well as all you guys. Really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, I know on YouTube you can come back and watch it anytime. So when you take the time to trouble to watch that clock and be there for the Friday night show, like I said, I really thank you so much, and it makes it so much fun. YouTube did finally stick us with 701, so they made it official that we are over 7. So thank you guys so much for that. We got some interesting chunks of gold showing up in there, man. That is getting closer. And look at this while we're going. But their stuff tends to have a lot of pyrite in it. So some of the stuff that looks like it might be gold is often pyrite when you get down to the bottom of it. But that was always what was cool about the big cans, the pan in the can, small and large cans, is you'd always have some interesting ores and minerals and gemstones that they'd throw in there with it that would make it really cool. But back to YouTube, I still have not gotten on them about my about banning the last video. I just like I said, I'm probably going to do something on it today, and because I should be able to get them to retract it. It was medical misinformation, which is bullshit. Just like now, what we've seen from those 41,000 hours that they gave Tucker Carlson, that the whole, you know what, on January was, if I even say the full word, they'll come after you for, they do not want the truth out on that. And CNN talking about Carlson's lies and how they're trying to reframe that day. And no, they're telling the truth about that day. That shaman guy was actually, an ex-veteran that you'd see wearing the antlers, the headdress, and the fur, that was walking through carrying the flag, being escorted, had nine police around him, just him and them, as they're walking him through. And he's just received 4 years in prison for being there, when these scumbags that commit violent, heinous crimes are released immediately. It's so yeah, I saw where Trump in his CPAC had some, was an awesome, he's back on point for his message. But he thinks they should be charged with treason for the January 6th committee. And I don't think they could get him for treason, but they definitely get him for criminal, like sedition. And you can't attack civilian populations with lies if you're an elected official without having a criminal referral come. So we'll see. But check out our first batch of some very fine, very cool Canadian gold from Pan in a Can. Gold in a can, man. But in this case, it's a pill bottle. So yeah, ain't that a pill? And their gold has a different, I still have most of the gold that I've gotten from Pan in a Can, and it does have a different look to it. So that was that. And y'all saw how much I dumped out of there. That was just a little bit out of that bottle that we got all that gold out of. So wow, we're gonna see what the next tablespoon reveals for us there. But yeah, back to YouTube. I was talking to my buddy in Texas. I've known for decades, and y'all know, if you're in the live chat, you've seen his dad, Kenneth, that comes into the chat sometimes with us. His son Mark is who I'm talking about, my buddy. And Mark, if you're watching, thank you, brother. He he doesn't have a YouTube account, so he has he just watches it on his TV as on the TV box or whatever. So, but he was telling me, not knowing that they had banned my video, blocked my video now, that the last one, that whenever he searches my name, he's going, man, YouTube doesn't want you found. He goes, when I try to type up your name, you have to type in the full Bayou Gold Guy before it will come up. He goes, as soon as you hit GOL, Bayou Golf Guy comes up. And that's the dominant. Mine, even scrolling down, mine still doesn't come in until you type in the full Bayou Gold Guy name. And if you're not, and again, everybody I know has a YouTube account, whether you have a channel or not, you're signed in on YouTube. So you've got you're fed different information than the average viewer, somebody like him that's just looking for a channel. But I think that's where that shadow banning crap comes in, where, like I told y'all from months ago when I did that first one, and my views and subscriptions dropped from regularly what they normally were to like 0 for weeks. And then they slowly kind of came back. But yeah, I thought that was pretty bizarre. And then I told him about the channel being banned, or the video being blocked. And then he was like, shit, man, they are suppressing your videos. So, but that's what that's what happens when you talk about the shit we talk about on here. And yeah, I know it's supposed to be about gold, but it's about being able to get gold too, and having a country where you can enjoy the gold. So, and most of the things that I point out are stuff that just regular news viewing people don't ever hear about. Like how many of you guys saw the latest news on Butt Guy? Of course, we had another horrendous derailment, 25-car derailment in Ohio again. And the national head of Department of Transportation, old Pete Butt Guy, his mentor, his buddy. Here's a shot of him, his good buddy. They're tight, and I'm sure it's one of those situations. But his old buddy here just got arrested and charged with having child porn, or I probably can't say that. YouTube's gonna flag that now, but yeah, stuff with the kitties in his computer that you're not supposed to have. It's very perverted and illegal and disgusting. So I would probably even money that if somebody came up and knocked on old Pete's door and said, we want to check your laptop, that he and his good buddy there had probably swapped a few family photos. And this is the guy that just adopted 2 little children with his husband. First thing he did when he got appointed the position as the first XYZ failed mayor to take over a department that knows absolutely nothing about and is incompetent. Took off 3 months maternity leave. Talk about working the system, man. Dude, that's for women recovering from being pregnant, breastfeeding, and bonding with their, recovering from giving childbirth, not, let's take 3 months to go hang out on Fire Island in Haiti, and while we put the kids in a, leave them with normal people to go take advantage of this. It's just, but yeah, that's pretty disgusting. And like I said, there's that shot of him arm in arm with his buddy. So, they were tight. Like I said, I would bet you there would be things, if they looked deep enough in those files, that would not surprise anyone that guy would have. So, man, another little speck of a little spoon of pay dirt, and we've got all that gold, man. That is, and that's some small gold. Very cool. That's an awesome little jar from Pan in a Can. Thank you, John. So we'll go through this one more time, and we'll check out another one. And again, you can see this stuff's full of all those little cubic pieces are the pyrites that they break up and tend to have in these pay dirts. And then when you get, like I said, when you get the cans, the bigger cans, you'll have actually some really nice pieces of pyrite usually thrown in there with it that are very cool. So, but yeah, that's always nice to have the pyrite in with your dirts. All right, we're down to another one. We'll see about the same amount I put in as the last ones. And I am seeing some very nice fine gold showing up on this. But yeah, those heavies, those rocks that's not the light stuff that flows away from your gold. That is some heavy, that pyrite, and I think that whatever else is in there with it, that's hanging with that gold. Water, you can see the water. It does not want to move. Well, I wish I'm having a bad glare here. Has it been all the way through? But look at that, man. There's just the amount of gold in each of these little spoons is amazing. Oh, all right. But yeah, so like I said, it's feel compelled to try to share a little information on the side while we're doing this, and points of contention and the like. And I'll just take the risk of YouTube going after me because they don't want you to hear what I'm saying. I mean, that's like I said, when their policy says we think, it doesn't say you did this. It says we think your comments violate our stand. Well, no, that's not how it works, man. You can't censor me over your feelings or your perceptions or whatever mood you're in the day that you read it 3 weeks after it's been posted. If you didn't flag it when it came out, you shouldn't be after it now. So, but at any rate, we still keep it lighthearted. It's not like we're here, ragging on the end of the world coming or anything. I mean, the iceberg's already hit the ship. It's just waiting to see who makes it to the lifeboats first. And you know who's going to be at the front of those lines? That's right, the people that steered us into it. So it's another reason I really like these green pans is that, like I said, that extra drop in the bottom there that acts as a catch. It's almost another riffle and a stop for a nice little crevice for that small gold to collect in while you're washing the stuff off the top. And then when you start panning it back, it acts as a nice little dam, a wash that kind of hits that water and forces it back. That Mine Lab does not have that feature. It's a smooth run up to the pan, and at least I see a difference in it when I'm using that one compared to the old greens here. she's making her usual visit this morning. Say hi to the folks there, bitty one. she's my little outside girl. She comes in, like I said, in the evening times, has some dinner, plays with my cats a little bit, and she's back outside. She does not want to stay in too long. But yeah, she would I was gonna say she was laid over on her back and with her belly up. But when she saw me move the camera, that's how skittish she is. She jumps even with me. But like I said, I'm the only person ever that's gotten this close to her, so it's I'll take that as a compliment from her. Actually, she just learned that's where the wet food is. I'm gonna warm up to this guy. He's got the good stuff. But look at that. It's consistent. You'd think in that material that gold would have settled. It would all be at the bottom of the jar from being shipped, and it sits around like that all the time. How does it not? Is it just because it's so much smaller than the density of the pyrite and the rock around it? It doesn't settle. Like I said, I just don't. It just kind of surprises me the distribution of it through that little bottle to be so evenly spread out throughout all the dirt, like it's connected to the whatever it all is in. It's all the same density or something. So it's not. But I don't know if you know the physics behind that. Leave a comment. So again, there we go. It's just every time awesome. I know John R. Prospecting was wanting to. He's going to do it. We wanted to do these together, pretty close together, because he's got the other bottle that he'd gotten of this, and so I was going to compare them. So I know he just finished off his big chicken miners that's going to be coming up, and got some. You'll want to see that. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he's going to do. I think he's going to try to get that in his pan in a can prescription bottle in for this done this weekend and posted first of next week, which would be the second week in March, I guess. We're running, since this is premiering on I think it's the 10th. So all right, I'm gonna give it another scan to make sure no little guys snuck past us, and we'll be back once again. Well, we're about the next to the last, I guess, of the bottle. And I realized that the glare that was bothering me so much was coming off of the sign. I had to take down the sticker board there because it's gotten so loaded up with the stickers and the whites and the shinies that it's casting it, a lot more reflection in the water of the pan, causing the glare. I was thinking, man, I've never, I don't remember having glare issues like this. And then I started looking at it and trying to realizing that, I'm seeing all those stickers on that board. It's what's blocking the view of the material. But again, we just loaded with pyrite. But turns out that was the next to the last pan here. We've got a little more in that bottle than I thought. So a nice, another little band of gold coming down to the bottom. So we will let this join its compadres. A couple little specks there. A couple more little specks there. Yeah, you got to get a pretty good wash to get that pyrite out of the way. So, like I said, you're gonna move some gold with it when you're talking about that finest stuff. So that brings us down to that's about what we've been putting in all the way through. So you would think this would be where all the gold would have been holding up when you'd get to the bottom of your little jar of this material. And as you've seen, there has just been great gold in every pan. So James is a great guy. It has does pan in a can along with was it Charles? I can't having trouble remembering the other guy's name that actually I think has the mine where they combo up. But I know that James had contacted me after I'd done their first pan in a can, and was thanking me for doing the video. Said it was really great, and he said that they had I'd contacted him, I guess, back asking about when he was going to have I wanted to do a large can, the large pan in a can to show the other ones that they had, and they were always out of stock. And he said, I have one can that's available. He goes, if it's because the website was sold out. He said, if you I'm going to email me when you're ready, and I will put it on the site, and you can buy it. So that's what I did. I emailed him and said, okay, I'm watching, and sure enough, I clicked on it, and there it was, one available, and so I scooped it up and got and that was the only they're sold out, and right now they're still sold out on. Look at that nice chunk, some very cool pyrite. They're sold out on everything but the prescription bottle, but that was just really really cool of them to do that. And then they were on I don't watch any of the mining shows, but John was telling me that they were some guy that is like a saves or redoes or restarts mines or helps struggling mines. And they were on, like, it's a show on one of those channels that they were actually on it and trying to help them kind of restructure and kick it back up. But I always thought they were pretty popular just because they were always sold out. That usually means something, that you're putting out a pretty good product, or at least it's a high demand. And as I said, to be in Canada, just the postage on it makes it where it's already high on getting it, compared to maybe a normal. And the whole pan in the can thing was kind of a novelty. It's a novelty product because it's gold in a can. It's very cool. But there we go. That's our last band, and you can see there is once again a very nice line of gold. There's still a little bit of pyrite showing up there, so we'll look at it in the snuffer dump. But very fun bottle to do. But like I said, these guys, and by novelty, that's not demeaning it or anything. I'm saying it's a novel product because you don't, like I said, you don't see that. That's kind of what it's their gimmick to get your attention was pan in a can, gold, pay dirt in a can. And like I said, they're always sold out. But yeah, great guys, and they have a cool product. And you can go check out I'll leave a link there for their channel too, for the videos they do when they're opening up the mine. Is from a couple of years ago. They'd put them out regularly, and then they kind of slacked off. But so let's just get our dump here and see how it looks, because I'm betting it's gonna look pretty cool, because we picked up a lot of gold out of there, and it's stuck to the bottle. The last squirt bottle that I bought to replace the one that I first had, that the thing broke off of. The thing broke on it. It hasn't broken all the way off the spout, but it is cracked at the top. So my super glue is all dried up. I was going to use the super glue and use super glue with cigarette ashes and a little bit of baking soda combined, and it acts as a. They actually use the super glue and baking soda to repair carbon propellers because it is so hard. And the pits and things like that that would be in the propellers that could even the smallest thing like that can offer resistance on the props. So yeah, whenever you've got little nicks or divots in your prop, they could pile on some baking soda, squirt some um, super glue on it, and it hardens immediately. And then you file it down, lay another layer, sand it down, put another layer, and fill it up that way, build it up. But I did it just on the end of a toothpick and smacked it with a hammer, and it wouldn't break. It wouldn't break off. So a pretty cool hack for super glue and baking soda. Man, you can see there's still some little tiny pyrite hanging in there with that gold. But very nice. Just look at that. that is a pretty come on. Damn it again with the zoom. It's gotta be when my fingers get wet. It's not letting me zoom. There we go. Check that out. Some nice some nice pan in a can Canadian gold. So thank you again, John R. Prospecting. We'll get this dried up and weighed up after I go through my tailings again, and we'll get a weight on it so we can see. Let John, because John wants to know between this one and the one he's got. But again, I'll have to go through and pick out a little bit of that pyrite still hanging with that fine gold, but beautiful, beautiful. Well, I don't usually show this part going through the tailings, but I thought since you just get a good look at what the bottles looks like dumped out completely is in the full pay dirt, and it's a very like I said, a very cool pay dirt. It has definitely a different look to it than a lot of them. Oh, a little girl over there squeaking. Hopefully we won't be finding anything down in here since we went back through each pan. And these pans are pretty good about not washing gold out if you're if you don't rough it up too bad. Yeah, the pan can only do so much. All right, well, we are down to the bottom there, and I think I do see a few little fine flakes of gold there showing up. Yes, there are. But only the smallest stuff. Well, all right, like I said, I thought it would just be fun to see what that looks like in the whole pile from our prescription. It is addictive. We just couldn't put it down. So, all right, let's dry this up and see how it looks. All right, here we are once again with a pan of some just lovely Canadian gold. Look at those little pieces there, man. That is some nice. There's some fine gold in there too. So there's our John R. Prospecting sticker. Actually, that's a vial. That is my gold that I've gotten from Pan in a Can. We're going to look at when we get this done. So let's get us a weight. We are properly calibrated. That is some cool gold. I love the fine gold. Well, let's just see what we got in our prescription bottle. .298. 297. I shouldn't exclaim at the scale. It changes it. 298. So again, right there, right, just a hair below 0.3 of a gram on that. So I'm thinking that's probably, I think he did double the gold on this vial, on this bottle. So very cool. That's John, there's your marker. There's the bar set on this one for for doing yours. So we're calling it 298 or 297. Yeah, I'm holding it 297. So right at it. Well, there we go, up close and personal with some tiny ass gold. And there's those little black specks that you see in there are like micro grains of sand. That's gold. There, it's just a little darker piece, but yeah, I mean this stuff is. There's the toothpick tip, and like I said, this is tiny gold, but very beautiful. A very it has kind of a reddish color to it. I think that seems like stands out from the Pan and Ken gold. I'll show you my. We'll take a look at my gold that I got from the other two cans, the big can and the small can that I had done. And you can see there it already has kind of that same character to it as the small gold that we just did. But it's a smooth, and like I said, it has kind of that reddish quality to it that looks different from any of the other gold that I have, for sure. But then you pan up to that, and you can see that's just smaller versions of that same gold. So that's very nice, and very happy to, yes, Angel, very happy to add that to the collection here. And I said, thanks again for an awesome time. That was really fun stuff to do. Actually, let's just see what our pan in the can total for the gold is now, because we'll be putting all this together. Oh, we gotta. She is just antsy for some reason today. Yes. So we have a total of 2.023 grams of pan in a can gold from the Nip and Tuck mine? I think that's what it is. So awesome stuff and a good time again. Thank you so much to John R. Prospecting. So that wraps up the Christmas the Christmas package there with, like I said, the Dan Hurd and our gizmo, and then this very cool. So two golds I've never done. Thank you so much to John. Very, like I said, a very good friend, very generous guy, and a great. Well, there's still a speck or two of gold hanging in the pan there. How do we not get all that? Okay. So yeah, add a little gold to it and it loses weight. That's how small that gold was. Beautiful. Hurricane loves the pouch. So I decided, well, to wrap this up, I think we're going to take. Oh, am I blocking the light? Can we see it? We got 14 grams of nuggets there of some of my prettiest nuggets, and we're going to drop them in our pouch like it's meant for. And can we hear? Is it? You can hear. There you go. You can hear the gold shaking. That is just too cool, my friend. Thank you so much. Again, it really means a lot, and to have it a handmade and an awesome, like I said, tanning it out and making it such like I said, it's a beautiful, soft, very soft, and y'all can see it's a very smooth, very, very evenly tanned hide. That's, like I said, it's very quality work, my friend. That is awesome. And Hurricane is loving it. He was making all kinds of silly sounds when he was smelling it. So that's something I'll have to make sure I pack away, secure, because like certain bags of pay dirt, they end up on the floor from the children's going after them when I'm not watching. So, but that is cool. That's the sound of gold jingling in the pouch, my miner's pouch. So again, Daddy, that is just too cool. So I guess that will do it for our pan in the can from John R. Prospecting. Like I said, I'll leave a link to his channel. He just filled up his first case of 50 jars of specimen jars of gold, and he's going to do a little show on that, because I was going to say, well, so what was the total weight? What is the total weight overall for the completion? I was waiting for him to do that at the end, and I didn't know if I'd missed it. And he's like, no, I don't think maybe I didn't do it. So he's going to make sure that he does have that, give that total. I know what it is now, but I'm not going to tell you guys. You have to wait and see. Tune in to John R. Prospecting. And again, JJ Prospecting for Jam and Jeff. Like I said, share that and let people know that is who JJ is, because like I said, a lot of people know the name Jam and Jeff from being on channels for many years on YouTube. So, and and then our Vendetta Prospecting, our bag that came in for that. So if you're not a subscriber, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this channel, to Vendetta, check out his stuff. So there we have it. I thank you all again. Just for a wrap up note, I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with this little bit of news, but it kind of has faded pretty quick. The Americans that were shot, kidnapped in Mexico, and down for a tummy tuck, all these poor, innocent Americans. And now, and I assumed it was like, some fat, middle-aged, Botoxed up woman that was going down. And my first thought was, who would be stupid enough to go to Mexico for any reason, much less for a medical procedure in the best of times, much less when the gangs and the cartels are humans swarming the border, where as soon as you cross the border and then find out that they were that close to Brownsville and more than again, an area, if Texas and Mexico border at all, that's no place you would go to have a tummy tuck, cosmetic surgery to save a few $1,000s. Then you see a picture of them, it's like, well, they're black. What that wasn't what I was expecting. And now you find out they all had drug records. One of them was just arrested, had faced charges for drug manufacture. So no, these people were they were drug mules, And you get down to Mexico, the cartels and the federales, you can wave your BLM and your XYZ flag all you want. They're going to kill you, and you don't get the Brittany Griner treatment when you're down there. So it's unsubstantiated as yet, but all of them had drug raps, and then you see the pictures of them, and they all look like drug thugs. So that's why this now Biden's like, let's downplay that. No, those aren't the ones we want to, because you're thinking, damn, it's time to move the military in when they're killing Americans, innocent American tourists. No, they're these were scumbags. We're going to probably be bringing up the fentanyl that was going to be killing your kids in South Carolina and adjoining states, Virginia, North Carolina. So if that's the case, I say you got what you deserved. And nobody's shedding a damn tier 1 for you, just like we didn't shed it for Big Bob over there. And again, that's one. If you ever notice, whenever he came back, no pictures of him returning. No no shots of him of seeing. If you were locked up in Russia for 9 months, living on bread and water, like they said, a big 7-foot woman would be dissipating very quickly. And seeing him coming into the airport, he was still pretty stocked. And so that leads me to believe that that whole thing was something set up between them. I would not be surprised to find out that Big Bob was working with the Russians. They'd been going there for 8 years, knew all the libtard anti-America scum over there, used him as a pawn, was treated well. He's gonna, I'm sure as was already getting paid millions of dollars to play there when nobody wants to see him here. But yeah, there was more to that story that's been covered up and suppressed like everything else. But I would, again, just like what you find on Butt Guy's computer, I would lay money that this is not what it seemed, and that was some kind of sting that they used to get their Russian arms dealer back, because they're in the middle of a war. They need their top player, and it didn't make sense after 8 years of going there, or for all the years going there playing that she did, to get busted that way on that, and then to be released for this thing and come back looking like, you haven't lost a pound from what. And now you've seen the head shade. Looks like, I can't remember the guy in the NBA they keep comparing him with, Big Bob, with, saying, is that so-and-so? Because I don't watch any of this scum. They just arrested another NBA player for a drive-by shooting, trash. NBA, the National Felon League or the Chinese NBA League. You're talking about criminal scum throughout all of it. So I don't deal with any of it. But that's a note you're not going to probably hear in mainstream news about those poor Americans that got ambushed and kidnapped in Mexico, but before they could get that fentanyl back to your kids. So, gosh, Biden's brokenhearted about that on his secured border. So that'll wrap it up. Again, thank you so much to Danny, and my best for your health, my friend. And y'all, when you see him on, make sure you have a prayer for him and your best wishes. And like I said, because he's been on the channel since I started, always comments, and a lot of times he's in the chats too. And I said I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the support from all you guys. Like I said, you've kept the channel going by your generosity, sending me stuff to show, and I'm more than happy to show your stuff or to show what you've done. And again, thank you so much. So until the next time. This is the soon-to-be once again banned Bayou Gold guy saying, peace out, my friends, and take care of each other and stay the fuck out of Mexico.